Well, hello, baby. I'm the Incredible Melting Man. Yes, I am. I'm the Incredible Melting
What the
Man.
hell are you doing, bro?
Hang on a sec. Yeah?
Yeah, your bullshit, funny sex line bullshit, Alice Thrills yesterday bullshit. Honestly, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm the Incredible Melting Man.
The Incredible Melting Man?
Incredible Melting Man. I'm the Incredible Melting Man.
I don't even know why I fucking live with you, bro, man. I'm moving out so fast. I'm the Incredible Melting Man, baby. What's up, guys? Welcome to 31 Days of Horror. I am Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. The Incredible Melting Man was released in 1977 and recently put out by Vinegar Syndrome, which gives myself and many other genre fans the incredible opportunity to discover shit like this, which we would never have otherwise. This movie is absolutely amazing, and I want to start off specifically with the practical effects. Sorry, the practical effects are legendary, and this is the example of why practical effects will always champ CGI. And I say this in so many videos, but this is the example. The practical effects on the Melting Man, and just in general when it comes to the gore and the blood and just the way everything looks, absolutely incredible stuff. So what we have going on here is this film starts off with a trip to Saturn. This astronaut named Steve, along with two other crew members, are basically in the rings of Saturn, and they're doing some kind of expedition there. This kind of sonic wave, radioactive stuff begins to happen, and the entire crew is killed other than Steve. And then we basically jump cut to Earth, where Steve is in a hospital, because we kind of skipped the whole space stuff because we're talking about 1977 and I think the budget just wasn't there. So all of the space, outer space scenes are kind of done with just footage kind of thing. 99% of this movie basically takes place on Earth. So this guy is basically strapped up completely. He's got bandages all over himself. He ends up waking up, and then he takes the bandages off, looks in the mirror, and starts to freak out because his face is completely melting off. He makes an escape. The doctor who is treating him and the scientists who are looking after him and studying this guy are saying that he is potentially radioactive, which is kind of a fucked up situation in this case, being that he, escaped into a forest. And if he is radioactive, I think realistically, the story would play out way more dangerous and sinister than what ends up happening in the movie, because the whole radioactive thing doesn't play off too much into the film. It's more this guy, basically, he has an instinct to kill, and from what I understand, he wants to replenish the cells in his body, so his instinct mode is kicking in, and he basically starts to eat flesh and eat cellular, molecular beings, basically humans in a sense. He doesn't target animals or anything like that. It's pretty much humans he goes after. Like I said, he runs off into a forest and he basically hides out there. He ends up mutilating this one guy by taking his head off, and once again the practical effect on the head looks cheesy as hell, but the way it's just flowing down the river is kind of hilarious and kind of badass and really disgusting and just horrific. And the cheese factor is definitely on a level 10. All of the acting is super hokey, I must say. But we're talking about a film from 1977, so it kind of just goes with the whole character and of the film itself and the whole vibe of it. So you kind of need that in a sense, but I will say the acting 100% is absolutely hokey. And I love the situations that characters run into involving the melting man, including these kids who are playing hide and seek, and then this little girl runs into the melting man, and she's like, "Mommy, Frankenstein!" And then the mom's like, "Honey, there's no such thing as Frankenstein," but I like the Frankenstein reference. You also get this really slimy photographer who's doing a photo shoot with this girl, and he's doing his thing, and then all of a sudden he just asks her to take her top off, and she's not willing to take her top off, and she's saying that this is a whole misunderstanding. But of course, this is 1977, and you can't have a 70s movie without a complete creep and guy invading personal space like crazy, and he just walks up to her and he just takes her top off, and you do get full frontal on that scene. But yeah, leave it to a film like this to feature a photographer who has absolutely no boundaries whatsoever and doesn't know the concept of no. Try having this made today. Our other main character is named Ted, and he plays a doctor basically, and he has a wife named Judy or Jane. My mistake on her name. But he basically is trying to find Steve. He's using kind of radioactive or some kind of device that tracks radioactive waves kind of thing, trying to locate this guy. And it's basically just a search party throughout the whole film while various characters encounter with the melting man and various murders happen, including the wife's parents, which I actually found pretty tragic because they were hilarious. They made for one of the funniest moments in the film. You have this old couple traveling to Ted and his wife's house. This old couple being the parents of Ted's wife, and they're just bantering back and forth, and they're being like kind of ridiculously flirty, especially for a couple their age. And she's talking about like she wants to get some candy as a gift, but the husband's joking because this old lady clearly wants the candy for herself. And then they pass by like an orange field and a lemon field, and she talks about picking some lemons to make a lemon meringue pie for her husband. And they're just the sweetest, cutest couple you ever see, until the melting man comes along, of course, and starts eating their flesh and just throwing away their body parts and limbs out the window as if it's nothing. Very tragic just for the characters that they were, and kind of broke my heart a little bit because they were just such a sweet elderly couple. And of course you get the wife grieving over that situation too, and being super worried about them being late in coming over, and then eventually she inevitably finds out that they were murdered. The climax in this film takes place in some kind of power plant, and you have this struggle with the melting man and Ted and a general character that also plays as a main character throughout the film. And it's a crazy, crazy good film. It's shot very well, actually surprisingly well, from what I for being a film of the time. The cinematography and the person behind the camera definitely knew exactly what they were doing. Like I said, hokey acting is my biggest. I wouldn't even call it a negative. I would just say that if there's any flaw in this film, it would be for the performances. However, they kind of, like I said, add the charm to the film. So you can't even call it a flub or a negative in any way, shape, or form. I think this film is so well done, and I had such a blast with it. This came out of 4.5 out of 5 for me. I mean, I was pretty close to giving it a 5 out of 5, but first time watch, I can't be that crazy, you know. Giving a film a 10 out of 10 for my first viewing. I don't really usually do that too often. I maybe done it like 2 or 3 times, but yeah, easily worth a 4.5 out of 5. I had a really good time with the incredible melting man, and man, the oozy sliminess that you get on the melting man, and how his eye like falls off in a certain scene, just a whole eyeball, and he's just sweating ooze. Kind of looks like Kevin Bacon did in Hollow Man when he starts to have his. By the end of that movie, when his face is all burnt and you start to be able to see him because of his rubber being burnt and shit. Kind of like that, except way more oozy and way more pussy. And yeah, it's gross out gags to the max, and not for the squeamish, that's for sure. But a guy like me, I absolutely adored this film. And thanks once again to Vinegar Syndrome for putting out a beauty like this. So that's day 5. I had an incredible time, like I said, and I love discovering shit like this, and that's why I love 31 Days of Horror. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you'd like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. I will be back with more soon. Stay tuned for day 6. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming until next review. Have a good one. Take care and cheers.